This week, your teacher will ask you to complete the modules for Connect to Literacy under differentiated practice. So you will click here. You will click on our civic life, listening, and our civic life, speaking. So we'll just look at it real quick. Remember that when you are listening, the directions, you can listen to the directions by clicking the play button. You listen to the audio and then select the correct item that they're asking you to do. So you're going to click here to listen to the directions, and then you click on the correct part of the picture, and then you click next. That's just for the listening part. You will have 5 questions. Then you will continue our civic life speaking. Now remember, we mentioned last week, you can preview this quiz, but if this were a real attempt, you would be blocked because this quiz is not currently available. Yes, but it will be for you. So you will listen to the question, then record your answer to the question, providing as much detail as possible. So our suggestion to you, look at the pictures, listen to the question, write down your answer on a paper, and give as much details as possible. You want to make sure to include lots of details. What do you see? What the people are doing? What they're holding, where do you think they are? You're going to include as much detail as possible. When you're done writing, why do people vote? But see, they're giving you some ideas. So after you write, you're going to record yourself speaking or reading what you wrote. You only have 2 attempts, which means the first time you record, you listen and play it back. If you like it, great, go to the next page. But if you do not like it and you delete it, you only have 1 more chance, and that last second chance, you cannot delete. So the second time has to be perfect or has to be your best. Then you click next and do it again. For this one also, you will have, you will have 8 questions. After you're done with all of those, you're going to go back to the beginning. And now this week, we are going to practice for the TELPAS test that you will be taking in a couple of weeks. So you're going to click here to TELPAS readiness. You're going to click on listening, and then you're going to click on speaking. So we'll go to listening. This week, your teacher will ask you to do quiz 2. Let me think. Okay, so you're going to go to quiz 2, and you're going to do, this is type 1.
Select the correct item.
Okay, so quiz 2, you're going to do type 1.
Listen to the directions. Select the correct image.
And so then you're going to do type 2.
Listen.
I'm going to model because this is a lesson model. So we will start there.
In the listening type 1 questions,
you will be asked to listen to the directions and then select the object in the image that matches what you hear.
the directions audio
Will tell you which object to select.
Select the red wagon.
After listening to the directions, select the correct object. The object you select will have a dark blue border around it.
After you complete all of the questions
In this quiz, you will select the Finish Attempt button.
this will take you to another screen where
You will be asked to submit all and finish. This will be followed by a message asking you to confirm your submission.
Make sure that
Go
yours
ahead
says
and
answer
confirm
saved.
your submission.
your quiz will be automatically scored.
And you will be taken to a screen where you can review each of your answers. Take a few minutes to review each question and answer. The correct answer will be outlined in a bright green border, like in these two sample questions.
Because you got it right.
If your answer is incorrect, then the object you selected will have a dark red border around it, like the image on the right.
Your answer is wrong. It's
If
incorrect.
you selected the incorrect answer, listen to the question. Look for the correct image, which will have a green border, just like the picture on the right side. Use your notebook or scratch paper to draw the correct image and label it. Follow these steps for every time you select the incorrect image.
After reviewing all of the questions in this quiz,
And writing down your corrections on your notebook or scratch paper, select the Finish Review button at the bottom right corner of the page.
You will also complete this week Quiz 2, Type 2,
Listen to the
which
directions.
is right here. Here's the lesson model.
in the listening type 2 questions, you will be presented
with 4 similar images and then asked to select the image that best matches the audio in the directions.
Begin by playing the directions audio.
The family is taking a picture during a picnic.
You may listen to the audio
As many times as you would like to. The
Okay, so think about it. The family, so all of these are families, is taking a picture. So you got to look at which one is taking a picture during a picnic and which ones are doing a picnic. So you got to listen to all the sentences, and you can listen to the sentence more than once, very clear, so that you don't get confused.
audio says, the family is taking a picture during a picnic. Listen for the key words. The key words are picture and picnic. Carefully study each image and disregard the images that don't show a family taking a picture while they're having a picnic. Select your answer once you have determined which image best matches the audio. Once you have
decided which image best matches the audio,
you may select that answer. When you reach the last question in the set, select the Finish Attempt button. You will see a summary screen where you can make sure you answered all of the questions in the quiz. If you forgot to answer any of the questions, you can return to those individual questions by selecting the question number or by selecting the Return to Attempt button. Once you have answered
all of the questions, you may select the Submit All
and Finish button. This will take you to a page
where you will be able to review each of your answers.
If your answer is correct, it will have a light green shading around the answer, and the image will match the correct answer image found just below the other answer choices. As you scroll down the page,
Reviewing each question, you may see an
answer with light red shading. This means the answer is incorrect. The image you selected did not match the correct answer image
at the bottom.
If you missed any questions, then
Listen to the directions to better understand
why your answer was incorrect. Listen to the audio. View the correct image, which is located below the 4 options. Use your notebook or scratch paper to write down the keywords and provide some details describing why you might have selected the wrong answer. Follow these steps every time you select the incorrect image. After reviewing all of your answers,
scroll to the bottom of the page and select
the Finish Review button to return to the quiz table.
After you're done with the listening, quiz 2, type 1 and type 2, you will go back and you'll continue with tell pass readiness, and now you will do quiz for speaking. Again, you're going to do quiz 2, type 1A.
Play the video.
You'll do 1A and 2. You might do 1A, 1B, 1C. But let's look at the lesson model for 1.
In the speaking type 1 questions, you will have an opportunity
to watch videos that you may have already
seen during the listening section of the course. However, the questions will be different, and you will have to record your answers using the audio record function. To begin, select the play button.
Watch the entire video all the way to the
end.
Flower power. Many plants make flowers, but plants grow flowers in different ways. Some plants grow only one flower. Other plants grow many flowers. Flowers have many different shapes. Just one. The pink tulip plant has one flower. Lots and lots. This rose plant has many flowers. A bird? The bird of paradise flower is shaped like a bird. Leaves and spines. Most plants have green leaves, but plants grow leaves in different ways. Cactus plants do not have green leaves. They have spines. Don't touch the spines. They are very sharp. Round and green. The string of beads plant has green leaves shaped like little balls. See right through. The Swiss cheese plant has green leaves with holes. Ouch! This cactus has sharp spines instead of green leaves. Where do they grow? Earth has millions of plants. Each plant finds a place to grow. Plants can grow in surprising places. A climber, a Virginia creeper plant, can grow up a wall. In the water, mangrove trees can grow in water. High up, a silver sword plant can grow in the mountains. What do they look like? Sometimes a plant's shape makes it look like something else. Sometimes a plant's name tells what the plant looks like. Look at the plants in the chart. The stone plant looks like stones. The elephant ear plant looks like an elephant's ear. Can you tell why the plants have these names? Super big plants. Take a look at these huge plants. A redwood tree takes hundreds of years to grow. It starts from one small seed, but it grows very large and very tall. The Rafflesia plant has a very large flower. The flower takes almost 1 year to grow. Phew! This big Rafflesia flower stinks. The Rafflesia plant has a very bad smell. The smell brings insects to the Rafflesia flower. Wow! You can drive a car through this redwood tree. Super small plants. Some plants are very tiny. The smallest plants are duckweed plants. They grow in water. Very tiny. Each duckweed plant is as small as a frog's eye. Think of all the different plants you have seen. Plants have different kinds of flowers. They grow in many places. Sometimes plants look like other things. They can be big or small. Plants can be surprising.
Then select the Next Page button. Listen to the question. Share 2 examples of the different ways plants grow flowers. Pull out your scratch paper or your notebook. The first thing you need to do after you listen to the question is to use the question as your sentence starter. An example of a sentence starter would be 2 examples of different ways plants grow flowers are. Begin by writing down step 1 and the sentence starter you created on your notebook or scratch paper. Step 2. Write down what you are going to discuss. For example, you would write, I'm going to discuss 2 different ways plants grow flowers. Replay the video segment above that relates to this question. Pay close attention to the video and write down all the information and details that will help you answer the question. You may replay the video clip as many times as necessary. Remember, you may take as much time as you need to prepare your answer. Step 3. Write down as many details as possible about what you are going to discuss. For example, you can write down the size, color, shape, names of the flowers, and number of flowers a plant produces. Step 4. Put your sentences together. Begin by writing down the sentence starter. The question is asking you to share 2 examples of different ways plants grow flowers. Based on what I heard in the video, I wrote down 2 examples of the different ways plants grow flowers are that some grow 1 flower and others grow 1 or more flowers. The tulip plant is an example of a plant that grows 1 pink flower. Other plants grow many flowers, such as the pink rose plant. Flowers also come in many different shapes. The bird of paradise flower is orange and purple and is shaped like a bird. Step 5. After you write down what you plan to say, read your sentences aloud to make sure they sound correct and practice them until you are comfortable saying them. Step 6. After you have reviewed and practiced your written answer, you may press the round red button to record your answer. You will be given 90 seconds to record your answer. Listen to your recording. Remember, you will be given 2 attempts to record your answer.
If you feel like you could improve your response,
You may click on the trash can icon to delete your first recording and then make a second recording. Some possible reasons why you may want to re-record your answer include: your first recording included some words from your first language, or perhaps you noticed some pauses where you were silent for periods of time. You may have thought of some more details you would like to add to your answer, or you feel like you could include more academic vocabulary words in your recording. After you have recorded answers to each question in the quiz, select the Finish Attempt button. Notice that I have not yet answered question 3 or question 4. If you accidentally skip a question
or forget to record your
answer, you may go back and record your answers before submitting the quiz. Simply select the Return to Attempt button or click on the question number to return to a specific question. When you are finished with the quiz, you may select the Submit All and Finish button. After submitting your answers, you will be given an opportunity to listen to each of your answers and also listen to the model
exemplar or
professionally recorded answers. On this page, you should listen to the question again, then listen to your answer. Then listen to the model exemplar. The model exemplar will give you good ideas on how you could respond
on the next speaking practice quiz.
That is very important, that after you answer and you have recorded your answer, listen to the model exemplar, because that will help you do better and answer with more details on your next question.
You will also notice the word pending after the word score. This will remain pending until your teacher listens to and rates your recording. The TELPAS speaking table will also show the pending label for each quiz after they are submitted. When you see that the pending label has changed to a numeric score, this means your speaking quiz has been rated by your teacher.
You may select the number
and then review your rating for each question, along with any comments or suggestions provided by your teacher. Here's an example of the same quiz question after it has been rated by your teacher. You can see the comments and feedback they wrote
to help take your English language proficiency
to the next level. Taking the time to prepare what you are going to say before you record, listening to all the model exemplars, and reading each of the comments shared by your teacher are the keys to achieving at least one proficiency level growth this year in your speaking skills. Always remember to listen carefully and think about your answer. You can use this graphic organizer to remember the steps we just reviewed. This will help you provide all the details and information necessary to help you take your English language proficiency to the next level. Your teacher can provide you with a copy of this graphic organizer.
You will also have a quiz 2 for 1A, 1B, 1C, and a quiz 2 for type 2. So let's look at this lesson.
In the speaking Type 2 questions, you will be presented with 4 images that represent a story
or a multi-step sequence. You will be asked to record yourself
describing the story. The first step is to listen to the directions.
First, you're going to look at each picture.
When you are ready, describe the story using the pictures by recording your answer. Please provide as much detail as possible.
Study each of the 4 images and try to imagine what is taking place in this sequence of images. The next step is to prepare your answer. An important part of your answer in the multi-step sequence questions is to include sequence words. Sequence words are words that help us understand the order of events in a story. As soon as you realize the question is a multi-step sequence question, go ahead and write down the list of the most common sequence words. Then you will begin to write the story. You may begin your answer with something that describes the setting. Feel free to be creative.
For example,
my grandparents have lots of apple trees in their yard. We love to visit them and pick apples from the trees and make caramel apples. Then we write step 1 of the process, such as, first, we get a ladder and pick delicious, ripe red apples from the tree. Then, my grandmother heats up a bowl of warm, sweet caramel.
Notice how they're using adjectives to describe what it looks like, what it tastes like. Make sure that you use your senses to describe the parts of the pictures and the parts of your story.
Next, we place sticks into the apples and dip each apple into the warm caramel. Then we roll some of them in nuts.
finally, we eat the delicious
caramel apples. After writing down your answer, read it aloud to make sure it sounds correct.
Make changes as needed.
Practice saying the sentences aloud until you are comfortable reading your answer. Then you are ready to record your answer. Relax and take a deep breath. Select the red record button and begin to speak your answer.
After you finish recording your answer,
Select the black stop button. Once you are finished recording your answer, you will go to the next question. It is important to follow the same sequence for each of the multi-step sequence questions. The steps include 1. Listen to the directions.
2. Write down the
Common sequence words on your scratch paper or notebook. 3. Study the 4 images and write down your descriptions of the 4 steps, making sure you begin each step with a new sequence word. 4. Read your answer aloud to make sure it sounds correct. 5. Then record your answer. Remember, you always have 2 attempts to record your answers. 6. Then continue to the next question and follow the same preparation steps. After recording your answer to the last question in the quiz, you will select the Finish Attempt button. Then select the Submit
All and Finish button.
As with all Connect to Literacy speaking items, you will be able to listen to your own
Recording, as well as a model exemplar.
or model answer. It is
Required that you listen to the model exemplars
for each question after you have submitted your quiz. Look at the image. Then, listen to your recording. Next, listen to the model exemplar recording. Compare the exemplar recording to your own recording and think about how you can improve your answers the next time. Your teachers and administrators will have the ability to listen to your recorded answers. After your teacher listens to and rates your recording, the word pending will change to a score. And there may also be comments and tips shared by your teacher on how you can continue to improve your answers and build your confidence. After listening to each of your answers and listening to the model exemplars for each question, select one of your answers that you know you could have done a better job with and rewrite it
using the model exemplar as your guide.
Write your updated answer in your notebook or on your scratch paper. Once you have completed your assignment, you may select the Finish Review button to return to the TELPAS speaking table. The TELPAS speaking table will also show the pending label for each quiz after they are submitted. When you see that the pending label has changed to a
Numeric score, this means your speaking quiz
has been rated by your teacher. You may click on the number and then review your ratings for each question,
along with any comments
or suggestions provided by your teacher. Here's an example. You received a score of 3.5 out of 4, which is great. Your teacher shared the following comments. Excellent job.
I liked how you included a sequence word for each
Step. You provided a nice opening sentence and then included descriptive adjectives as you described each of the 4 steps in this sequence. Let's review the steps for success. 1. Listen to the directions. 2. Write down the common sequence words on your scratch paper or notebook. 3.
Study the 4 images
And write down your descriptions of the 4 steps, making sure you begin each
step with a new sequence word.
4. Read your answer aloud to make sure it sounds correct. 5. Practice saying your answer aloud until you are comfortable reading it. 6. Then record your answer. Remember, you always have 2 attempts to record your answers.
Following that model lesson, you will complete quiz 2, type 2. So you'll click